Alrighty, boys, welcome to another video. Let's talk about the fight card that just happened right now. That is Alexander Rakic versus Jan Wahovic. What a weird ending, man. Definitely not the ending that you expected. Just very unfortunate that it ended that way. But going into the fight, I will say, as I was thinking about it, mostly in regards to Jan, my thought was, well, if he goes into this fight, his best bet would be to counter. Because I feel like he does his best work when he's the one that's countering. You take a look at his fight against someone like Corey Anderson, where he got the finish. Um, Luke Rockhold, where he got the finish. Dominic Reyes, where he got the finish. A lot of these finishes happened while he was the guy that was countering. And then you contrast that with his fight against Thiago Santos, and you see a big difference, right? Not saying that he can't lead, but when he's the one leading, when he's being aggressive, there's a bigger chance that he's going to get clipped. And so going into this fight against Alexander Rakic, I was thinking to myself, man, it would be better for Jan to kind of play defense, hang back, let Rakic come to you, and then look for opportunities to land that bomb, especially with his right hand, and also look for opportunities to flow with the body kicks. In this fight, he did just that, man. It looked pretty good. Round number one, he was doing very well, landing really good leg kicks, um, good body kicks, good counters. He had a very interesting counter that he was throwing that he does throw from time to time, but he kept going back to the well with that shot, which is the lead hook to the body followed by a cross over the top. And he did that a few times and actually landed like each time he did it. So really smart game plan. Rakic, on the other hand, was throwing very good jabs, long range weapons. He was always falling short on his cross when he tried to throw it across. So he would fire off a jab, try to follow up with a cross, but he would fall short. He wasn't like stepping into it. He wasn't taking his feet with him. So round number one, I would have definitely given the first round to Jan. I thought he did enough to win that first round. Again, solid leg kicks, really good calf kicks, good combos, body head combos. And then going into round number two, man, Alexander Rakic surprised everybody. He really surprised that. Well, I mean, maybe you guys were not surprised, but I definitely was surprised by his game plan because you could clearly tell that was part of the game plan. Part of the game plan being take down Jan Wahovic, hold him down, use your top game to try to win the round. And that is exactly what he did. Beautiful takedown, secures a takedown, and then ends up in full guard. And this is where I always agree with Michael Bisping. Like if you guys listen to Michael Bisping's commentary, he puts a lot of emphasis on the fact that fighters on the bottom should try to get back up to their feet. And this is way different from like the sport of jiu-jitsu, for example. Like in jiu-jitsu, for example, if you are in bottom guard and your opponent is inside of your closed guard, it's not like MMA where you could say the guy on top is winning. Actually, if you're in someone's closed guard, it's a very dangerous place to be. You on top, you don't have a lot of options. In fact, you really don't have any options, to be honest with you. I mean, you could maybe pull off a sneaky wrist lock in there. If you want to do something illegal, maybe you could do a rape choke where you literally like grab the opponent by the neck, lean into him and try to finish him that way. But then you're literally giving him an armbar. So especially in no gi, if you have the gi, there are a few things you could probably do. But in no gi, it's just not a good place to be, man, which is why you see a lot of people, they try to get right up, open up the guard, and start playing from open guard. But in mixed martial arts, it's not quite the same because mixed martial arts, of course, introduced striking. You can strike your opponent from close guard top. Now you don't have to like worry about let me systematically break open the guard. No, you can posture up and rain down blows. You can land blows to the body, you can land blows to the head, and we're talking fists, elbows. You have a lot of options from the top. Of course, your opponent on the bottom still has all the submissions that he has, which is he's got armbar there, he's got an omoplata there, he's got a triangle right there. Of course, he could sweep you. He could enter your legs directly from close guard. And of course, when he enters your legs, There are a world of submissions right there. You've got heel hooks, you've got straight ankle locks, you've got knee bars, you've got calf slices if the opponent tries to escape and you're able to get their foot on your hip and you lean in and grab their hip. You have multiple options from the bottom right there. But a lot of these options is dependent on you being able to set things up. And it's hard to do when you're getting punched in the face, which is why I completely agree with Michael Bisping. When strikes are involved, grappling should be about who's on top as opposed to who's on the bottom. And this is something that we all understand completely. Like pulling guard or playing bottom game and all that shit, it all goes out the window when strikes are involved. When strikes are involved, we go back to old school grassroots jiu-jitsu, which is about taking the opponent down, getting on top of them, passing their legs, getting to mount, taking their back and choking them out. This is the hierarchy of attacks. But Jan played like a very old school style of game where he was content with kind of laying on his back with his guard closed. Now you keep your guard closed so you can keep the opponent in your guard so you can look for a submission. Again, really, really difficult in MMA when strikes are involved. A lot of the submissions that you might be able to sneak in becomes very, very difficult, like isolating an arm and shooting a triangle. Now, I will say, Jan did shoot an almost locked in a triangle, but at that point in the fight, it was already slippery, and Rakic was able to escape. And from there, man, you might only have one chance, you know? At one point, he tried to shift his hip and throw up an armbar, but, you know, Rakic saw that easily. And for a vast majority of the round, the man was on his back. At one point, he butt scooted to the cage, got himself to the cage. I was just looking to see if I was recording. So, yeah, he got himself to the cage, tried to use the cage to stand up, and Rakic freaking got him with, I forget what it's called, but it's the same thing that Khabib does, where he locks a triangle, a sankaku, on both legs. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely incredible. I did not expect that. It was literally not what I expected from Rakic. Now, did I know he was capable of taking people down and holding them down? Absolutely. He's done that in the past. But I did not think he was going to be able to do that to Jan Blachowicz. But that's exactly what he did. So round number 2 gave that one to Rakic. Round number 3 is where everything goes to hell. You know, Rakic doing well, Jan doing well, both of them doing well. And then all of a sudden, man, just out of nowhere, Alexander Rakic steps the wrong way and his right knee pretty much gives out. Like, you could literally see it in the replay where the knee separates. I'm like, gee, man, it was freaking gruesome. Of course, not as like nasty as watching Chris Weidman get his legs broken or watching Anderson Silva get his legs broken, but catastrophic injuries to the leg, there's something about that, man. It's not like, you know, it's not quite like, oh God, he's paralyzed. But you just know how painful the whole entire thing is. And you know it is going to take a long time for him to recover from that. You know, because the moment he felt that pain, he fell to the ground and the fight was over. That was it. Done. Unable to continue. And just like that, Jan wins the fight. Was it scored a TKO? Yeah. Yeah. That would definitely count as a technical knockout. So that's pretty much how the fight ended, man. Disappointing. I'm pretty sure that is not how Jan Blachowicz wanted to win the fight. I'm pretty sure he wanted to win the fight, but it's definitely not how he wanted to win it. Now he's probably in line to fight for the title next. Now, Glover Teixeira will be fighting for the title very soon. Whoever wins that fight will probably see them versus Jan Blachowicz. But man, overall, a solid fight, really competitive. The fight was really turning out to be very fun to watch. And again, just very unfortunate that it ended that way. Anyways, I am going to leave it at that. This was a very fun fight card. I really enjoyed it. We got a lot of finishes, some very good striking, some very good grappling, TKOs, submissions, decisions. I mean, you had a sprinkle of everything in this fight card. So if you haven't seen it, go right ahead and check it out. But I am going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, boys. Hope you guys enjoyed this little recap where I just word vomit all over the place. And leave a like if you did. I'll see you guys later. As always, stay safe. Have a good night. Peace out, boys.